Hi everyone, welcome to Nursing 451. I wanted to go over a few things with you regarding Module 3. So the first thing is you're going to watch this YouTube video regarding vaccines and herd immunity. You'll look at the two PowerPoint presentations on the 10 essential functions of public health. You will be submitting your group contract, and each individual person, each student in this class will be uploading or attaching the group contract in the assignment tab. The reason that I have each person do that is so that I know that you know what your responsibilities are within that group. And then, of course, our discussion board. Now, the population identification, this is an assignment that is going to be due at the end of Module 5. So it is not due now, but it's due at the end of Module 5. The reason that I have it here now is so you can start working on it. This population identification closely ties in to Nursing 452, which you will be completing the second half of this semester. So when you click on this document here, you will notice it says Nursing 451, looking ahead to Nursing 452. For this assignment, you are going to identify a population that you would like to be engaged with during Nursing 452. Now with Nursing 452, it does say it's a 40-hour practicum course. We changed it last year so that way you didn't have to spend 40 hours with a preceptor in one specific location. We decided that that was not embracing the true context of population health. So what you're going to be doing instead is you will choose a population of your interest. You're going to do a survey, basically, not an actual survey, but just an observational survey. Maybe talk to a couple people within that population or people who are affiliated with that population and determine a health-related issue that pertains to that population. Then you're going to identify at least 3 key players that are going to provide you with information and that you can collaborate with in developing an educational program that you will be delivering to that population. So for example, I'm going to use the overused childhood obesity as an example for how this will work. So let's say you decide that you're going to go into XYZ elementary school, and just by observation you notice that many of the children are overweight, and you decide I'd like to talk, you want to talk to the school nurse, you may want to talk to the school principal, you might want to talk to a nutritionist, a teacher, maybe the PE teacher. So right there, I've listed 5 people that could be key players in addressing the obesity issue for the school or for this particular population. And you don't have to do the whole school. If you want to do a specific grade, that's fine too. But I'd like for you to think outside of the box and not do obesity, because that is one area that is overdone by students. So I'm challenging you to find a different topic. If that truly is something that the principal and the teacher and the school nurse are very concerned with, send me an email with their names and their contact information. I'll review with them the expectations for this course. And then after I speak with them, if that's still something that they really want done, then you have my blessing to continue with childhood obesity as your health-related issue. So, getting back to the example, I've identified the population. You're going to want to give a brief description of the population. So, what are the age ranges of the school children that you will be working with? So, if you're going to be working with 5th graders, all right, then you're going to give that age range of where a 5th grader would be, what the typical 5th grade age would be. You can also give a description of how many boys there are in the class, how many girls there are. You could also give a description of the community in which the school is located. Is it urban? Is it rural? Is it in a food desert? Is it in a food swamp? Which a food swamp is when it's just so many fast food restaurants and there are very little healthy places to eat. Okay. The health-related issue addressing is the obesity issue. And then the 3 names and job roles of the key players. And I say at least 3 because you really want a lot of information. And if you can get 4 or 5 key players, that's great. If you can only think of 3, that's fine. But you have to have at least 3 key players in the chosen population. So like I said, we're working with school children. So it's going to be the principal. It could be the teacher, the school nurse, maybe even a nutritionist, PE teacher. They will be providing you with some information. So you're going to have to get ready with your questions that you want answered and then collaborate when developing an education presentation. So this last part, you do not have to talk to them just yet. That will come into 452. All you need to do right now is to identify by name who they are and their job roles. All right, so it's a good idea in 451 for this assignment to just reach out and make that contact and just say, hey, I'm working on my practicum experience that I'll be doing in the next half of the semester. I would really like to work within XYZ school. Perhaps you've already done your assessment as to what their needs are. I've identified a need in the areas such as obesity, and I'd really like to give a presentation to the kids. Or if you wanted to, you could even give the presentation to like a PTA group. You could give a presentation to all the teachers. So really the sky is the limit, because when you think about your population, yes, the population are the kids, but do you want to do a presentation that's geared towards children, or do you want to do one that is geared towards adults? Either way, you're addressing that obesity issue. So the sky is really the limit. Now, with that being said, keep in mind that working with children, they are a vulnerable population. When you do your Nursing 452 your presentation, you will be video recording your presentation, and you will be uploading that into the course so that I or your other, whoever you have as your faculty person can watch you do your presentation. So there are a couple of ways that we can do this. First of all, you need to talk to the principal and find out what needs to be done. We can certainly record where all we can see are the backs of the students' heads, but we need to see those kiddos' heads and then see you presenting. Or if you live locally, ahead of time, and I'm talking a couple of weeks ahead of time before you give the presentation, notify your faculty member, and as long as there are no schedule conflicts, your faculty, your instructor should be able to attend your presentation. Again, provided it's not too far away from McHenry's campus, McHenry, Illinois campus. So there's a couple of different things that we can do, but you will need to show that you are giving a presentation to people, all right? I've had students in the past where they would present in their home with thinking that I didn't know that they were not in the facility where they should have been. So please don't do that. I'm just letting you know ahead of time. So again, we'll talk more about that in 452, but for 451, again, what you're going to be doing is you're going to identify your population, give a brief description of the population, the health-related issue that you're going to be addressing, and the names and job roles of at least 3 key players. And it's important that I have the names just so if there's any issue about that confidentiality of videotaping or anything, they can contact me. I can get back to them. And also, too, just to really legitimize your project. Okay? So I would imagine you are probably wondering now, how does the 40-hour practicum work again? You're not following a preceptor. You're not in a specific location for 40 hours. You are simply picking a population. So if it is a school, you are not spending 40 hours in that school. You're going to spend however much time it is to talk to the principal, to talk to the teacher, the school nurse. You're going to be doing that communication with them. Some of it can be over the phone. Some of it can be over the email. But you're going to actually be present when you do your presentation in 452 at that location. Okay? So if you have any questions about that, let me know. That is looking ahead to 452. Again, these are the only questions that you have to answer for the assignment that is due at the end of Module 5 in 451. This will set up your Nursing 452 course, so it'll carry over into Nursing 452. Again, if you have any questions, please feel free to email me. If it's a question that requires a lengthy response, I will probably ask that you call me so we can talk about it instead of writing out a very lengthy email. So I also wanted just to throw out there, I noticed a couple of you still do not have accounts in Castle Branch. So you're going to want to set up your account in Castle Branch and start putting your documents into Castle Branch. Your Castle Branch needs to be completed by the end of this course in order to move on to Nursing 452, because you are going to still be working with populations. You might just be giving them a presentation or going into the facility, asking questions, maybe doing that assessment, so you know that, what issue you're going to be addressing, but you really do need to have that completed. That is a requirement. Since 452 is considered a practicum course, it's a requirement from our accreditors. So you will have to have all of your Castle Branch completed. That includes all of the immunizations, CPR, licensure, HIPAA form, signature of the handbook, and your background check. So please set up an account if you haven't already and start putting that documentation in there. So if you have questions about that, please don't hesitate to contact me. I'll also show you here, you go up to Castle Branch, it will give you some information about how to set up an account and instructions, things that are required for you to complete your Castle Branch requirement. Okay, so I think that's all I have to say, and if you have questions, let me know. Thanks.